I'm here with Terence Crawford, right?
What's up, brother?
What's up with it?
My man. Nothing, man. You need to relax, man.
And he said, call Bozy. I said, hold the fuck up. You know I will call
That's my man Bozy.
Bozy.
We train together.
He sat here and told me and Wallow that Neff ducked the smoke.
No. You know, they must don't know what happened. Blue Blood Sports had called, the dude Blue Blood called me. This what happened. He had called me. When he had called me, he said, Bo. I said, what's up, Blue? Because he used to come down my gym all the time. He said, I can get that fight with Terence and Boots. I said, well, make it happen, man. I said, but you got to go to Espinosa sometime, because that's what I deal with. He said, oh. Then he said, well, let me talk to my guys. Matter of fact, I want you to talk to, what's his name, the BLK, the top guy, whoever he is. Him and Zab Judah. All of them was on the phone, so we talking. And they said they was going to make it happen. So they said they were going to call Espinosa. Espinosa said they talked to him. He talked to him and everything. And they said they was going to get back to him, but never got back to Espinosa. So when they put that stuff up, we don't even feed to that stuff when they put that shit up here. You know what I mean? But I knew what I said. And I told Blue Blood, y'all can make it happen. Let's make it happen.
Okay, so first and foremost, we did talk to Espinosa. So whoever said that is cap. It's cap.
Oh,
And
that's what Espinosa told me.
and I told Wallow and I told Gilly. I said if Boots want to fight Terence Crawford, call Bozy and Boots and ask them why they took the IBF route instead of staying with the WBO when they could have been my mandatory.
Terence Crawford was recently stripped of his welterweight title by the International Boxing Federation due to an inability to face Jaron Ennis next. Crawford has contracted to face Errol Spence in a rematch in 2024. Numerous Terence Crawford supporters refer to this interview on $1 million worth of game to reinforce a narrative initially initiated by the pro-Terence Crawford contingent. However, did Jaron Ennis intentionally choose the WBO path to evade Terence Crawford? Did the BLK Prime deal actually materialize? Let's conduct thorough research to uncover the answers. In November 2019, Boots made his initial entry into the World Boxing Organization rankings, securing the 15th spot. At that time, Mean Machine held the top position as the #1 ranked contender. However, the following month saw Terence Crawford's victorious TKO over Mean Machine in the 9th round, allowing Danny Garcia to leap from the #3 spot to claim the coveted #1 ranking. Meanwhile, Boots shifted to number 13 in the rankings. Intriguingly, Jesse Vargas, previously ranked at #2, dropped out of the top 15 without even having lost a fight. The decision to elevate Danny Garcia to the #1 spot is intriguing, especially in light of reports that had emerged and were subsequently confirmed by Top Rank. These reports indicated that an offer had been made to Garcia to square off against Crawford in March 2019, an offer that appeared to have been turned down. The move to elevate his ranking might have been a strategic maneuver aimed at enticing him into a potential bout with Crawford. Danny Garcia would remain in the #1 spot until July of 2020, when he fell out of the top 15 after the announcement that he would face Errol Spence in December. Sean Porter, who was previously ranked #4, leaped both Mikey Garcia and Virgil Ortiz into the #1 position. Sean Porter maintained his top-ranking status until April 2021, when he was subsequently dropped to the #2 spot. However, the WBO designated him as the mandatory challenger for Terence Crawford, necessitating that the fight occur by the end of the year. Crawford defeated Porter by TKO in a tightly contested and entertaining fight. With the loss, Porter fell out of the top 15 of the rankings and Boots elevated to #2 right behind Ortiz. Ennis had also elevated to the #3 position in the IBF. This is where most Crawford supporters claim that Ennis took the IBF route instead of remaining in the WBO rankings and/or petitioning for mandatory status. Ennis opted to face Clayton in an IBF eliminator to become the IBF mandatory. But why would Ennis take this route? Comments from World Boxing Organization President Paco Valcárcel may shed some light on the decision.
We established that all super champions like Crawford is a super champion for benefits. Okay, you have more privilege than the ordinary champion. For example, when you are
froze up. Damn,
18 months to make.
We lost you as super champion.
The case of Crawford last mandatory was older. That was Porter, Sean Porter.
Oh.
And after Sean Porter, he got 18 months to face the mandatory challenger.
To clarify, as of November 2021, Terence Crawford was in a situation where, according to comments from Valcárcel, he wouldn't be obligated to defend against a mandatory challenger until April 2023. Boots had expressed his desire to face any of the champions at 147. Therefore, Ennis faced a decision. Wait until April 2023 with no guarantee that the WBO would approve a petition to become Crawford's mandatory challenger or fight Clayton in April to immediately become the IBF mandatory challenger to Errol Spence. The decision appears straightforward, and before you contemplate whether Boots should have opted for the WBO route, consider this analogy. Imagine you have the opportunity to interview for a $150,000 job today at Ford. Alternatively, you could wait a year in the hope that the same job becomes available at GM. If your goal is to work for a car company, which option would you prefer? Another opportunity that Boots was said to have had to face Crawford involved a deal that BLK Prime, a relatively small subscription video-on-demand company, was attempting to arrange through Blue Blood. Crawford did fight on this platform in December 2022. However, it appears that the fight didn't generate much success, with reports indicating that BLK Prime paid Crawford $10 million. While Cameron Duncan serves as Boots' manager, rather than approaching his manager or network to arrange the fight, they sought out Bozy Ennis. Here is what Bozy had to say on the matter to YSM.
He said, yeah, I can make that fight, man, but would you talk to Zab and head of Blue BLK, what's his name?
Desmond.
Desmond,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I said, yeah, I'll talk to him. So they got on the phone. All three of them got, matter of fact, was on the phone. We talking. And I was taking from them that they really was trying to get us to come over their side. And I explained to him, and so the guy Desmond, he was saying, we can make the fight happen and we can do this. I said, well, listen, y'all make the fight happen. That's the fight that we want. Make it happen, you know what I mean? And we can get it on. So he says, what about you coming up? I said, no, I'm with Showtime, you know what I mean? I said, now, you want to make the fight, you call Steven Espinosa and talk to him and discuss that. Because that's who we with, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know? And when I said that, I said, plus I'm loyal to these guys. I don't just leave and go to another, promotional company or whatever you are. And he says, okay, because it'd be nice if you, come over. I said, okay, I know that, but I don't do stuff like that. But I know what they were implying about. They wanted me to come over to their side.
Bozy was suspicious, and rightfully so considering the approach. Here is what Espinosa had to say to YSM on the matter.
You heard grumblings that Bud wanted to fight Boots and that they reached out. Were those talks ever really tangible?
I saw some stuff about people talking about, some discussions with BLK Prime. I wouldn't even characterize that as a discussion. There was a discussion, but the reality is they don't have a deal with Crawford. If Crawford's under contract to BLK Prime, then maybe it goes through that. But the reality is they're trying to put together a fight just like we're trying to put together a fight. So the reality is it was a very short conversation. They didn't really bring much to the table in terms of helping make the deal. So there really was no point in following up on that. If there's going to be a Boots and a fight between Boots and Crawford, there are easier ways to do it without going through them.
Espinosa's point is quite persuasive. Why would Showtime use BLK Prime as an intermediary for arranging a Crawford versus Boots fight? After all, Crawford didn't have a contract with them. Involving BLK Prime could have potentially resulted in less revenue for all parties, including Crawford, so it raises questions about if Crawford was truly involved from the onset. According to some of Crawford's supporters, Boots may not bring significant value to the table, so the idea of sharing revenue in a potential fight shouldn't be appealing to Showtime or Crawford. This debate has been reignited with the recent comments from Crawford on his social media and the response from Boots. The real story behind the Crawford and Boots negotiations is bound to be a subject of differing opinions. If you're a supporter of Crawford, you might contend that Boots had his chance, but either his team or Espinosa wasn't genuinely interested in the fight. Conversely, if you're a Boots supporter, you might argue that the deal was never genuinely on the table. What we do know now is that Boots holds the IBF championship and has openly challenged Crawford to come and vie for his title. While it wouldn't be fair to label Crawford as avoiding Boots if he moves up to the 154-pound division, it's clear that he can't stay in the welterweight division without taking on one of its most formidable opponents. This has been an AM Sports Media production. Thank you for joining us.